let's talk about past lives, and I'll also do my makeup. I am not an expert, this is just what I do. I think of past lives as an extension, a branch of your higher self. I think of this life and all the lives all together are just little leaves, little branches coming off of the main soul. This main soul chooses the lives, and it chooses, well, that's a little too much, it chooses the lessons and the goals and the purposes for each of the lives. So I have seen, or I've been shown, I've been told that past lives, current lives, the leaves, the branches, they can be human lives, they could be a rock, they could be a tree, they could be an animal, they could be a galactic life, they could be a guide, a spiritual guide on your spirit team. There is so many possibilities of what you could be. I think it's kind of cool to think that we could be a guide for somebody else, even though we don't feel very guide-like. We just have a limited memory of who our soul fully is, and that's why we feel so limited in this life. And all of the experiences from all of the lives, and I would like to think of them more as experiences than actual lives, because a rock isn't really a life, but it is. So these experiences that our soul is having, all of them are brought together and put around. I see it as kind of like energy coming into the main higher self, and then it gets distributed to the other branches, and that's why a past life or even a future life can affect us. That's why the trauma from that life is coming and affecting us now. Like maybe your neck hurts because maybe your head was cut off in past life, or maybe you were stopped from speaking and you were punished for speaking out. So those kind of things affect you now because it gets distributed amongst all the lives. The higher self does have control over that though, because it knows what lessons are meant for that life, that experience at that time. So if something doesn't mesh, so it's not going to be helpful, they're not going to bring that forward. But the energy right now for how the earth is and how we are, it is very conducive to moving through all these karmas, all these traumas from these other lives. It's easier to move through them now than ever before. So we are being bombarded with all of this healing because the soul wants to move through as much as possible. Well, because why wouldn't it? If it's going to choose the time that is the most conducive for this fast-moving energy. It just happens that we are here during that time, and we are given a lot of junk to move through to heal for the betterment of our higher self, ourselves. A lot of us don't even realize that the patterns we have, the problems we're having physically, mentally, emotionally, just these patterns that keep coming into our lives stem from past life traumas. And once we are aware of it, then it becomes easier to process, easier to manage, and we get to move through it a lot faster. There are lots of ways to uncover, to realize, to illuminate, to bring to our understanding and our knowledge what these patterns and traumas from past lives and generational ties, there's a lot of that too, it feels very, the work through it is very similar. So you can do journaling, you can do a lot of shadow work, will uncover some of these issues because it mirrors what happened earlier in your life to past lives. They've recreated the same type of situations to bring about these issues into your life now. Somatotherapy is pretty good with this. Hypnosis, depending on the types, can be really helpful as well. And different intuitive readings and sessions are very helpful as well. My soul reading and healing session focuses quite a bit on this specific issue, because you need to work through the things that are tying you down and holding you back in this life before you can move into the person you want to be. That's why they are here. They're meant to hold you back so that you are forced to heal them before you can move forward to what you want. So how I do that is I access your Akashic records, and in there I ask your higher self what you need to heal, what you need to see, what you need to know about, and every time it's going to be different because everyone has a different soul and everyone has working on something different at this time. And you can ask specific questions like, why does my knee hurt? Why do I have this fear? What does this relationships pattern keep coming up into my life? We can ask all those kinds of questions, and then I am guided by your higher self and your spirit team to do specific healings for you. Each time is going to be different. They're going to show me what needs to be done, and I help facilitate this healing for you. And a lot of the time, we need to keep up on things. We need to do homework. We need to do things on an ongoing basis. So I always ask your higher self and your spirit team what actions you can take on your own after the session to continue the healing, because it is a process, it's a journey, it's not a one and done type situation, usually. And that's probably what I like the most, is I like empowering my clients. I like putting the ball in their court so that they can take charge of their own healing, that they're not completely reliant on somebody else. And that's probably one of my favorite parts of my soul reading and healing session. There's other aspects to it as well, but that to me is the main focus, and I think is the wonderful first step towards healing. If you have any questions, please comment, please message me. I would love to hear them. Thanks for helping me feel less bored while I put on my makeup. Have a great day.